Clap your hands even right now. Clap your hands. Second Samuel chapter 6. Chapter 6, we welcome all of our visitors, and we welcome last week some 6,610 people were worshiping with us for this service. And we believe even more on this Sunday. We're thankful. 2 Samuel chapter 6. Thank you, choir, for leading us in worship as well as sharing with your pastor on Friday. 2 Samuel chapter 6. And I'm going to look at verses 6 through 10. 2 Samuel chapter 6, verses 6 through 10. When they came to the threshing floor of Nacon, Uzzah reached out and took hold of the ark of God because the ox stumbled. The Lord's anger burned against Uzzah because of his irreverent act. Therefore God struck him down. And he died there beside the ark of God. Then David was angry because the Lord's wrath had broken out against Uzzah. And to this day, that place is called Perez Uzzah. David was afraid of the Lord that day and said, how can the ark of the Lord ever come to me? Ark of the Lord to be with him in the city of David. Instead, he took it to the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite. You may be seated. Your house in order. Get your house in order. I have a dear friend who called me about a month ago. Completely smitten he had just met. They had gone out on a date. And every time I talked to him, this is all he would talk about. Spirit was serene. Her nails were immaculately manicured. Hair was coiffed. Perfume was from Paris. Diction was eloquent. Wardrobe was out of this world. Credit had no cracks. This was for him a vision and the personification of the quintessential woman. And after 2 dates, he said, this is it. Time elapsed, and I noticed we hadn't heard about her. She just disappeared. The next time I talked to him, I said, whatever happened to the woman of your dreams? So the first 2 dates, I met her out. The third date, I picked her up from her house. And chaos seemed to be her address. Magazines were everywhere. Bathroom needed a bath. The kitchen sink began to stink. There was nowhere to even sit on the couch. I said, what did you do? He said, ladies and gentlemen, that's where God is. He's turned off by dysfunction. You come in church looking blessed, acting fabulous, tithing envelope filled out, Bible open, Shout is choreographed, fluent in tongues. But when he takes you home, children are disobedient. Marriage is maligned. Porn is on the internet. Liquor is in the cabinet. Weed is in the drawers. Silence is in the living room. Anger is in the bedroom. God, what did you do when you see that? I left. Because God can't handle dysfunction. In the time of our text, David had just been made king over Israel. He's replacing Saul because Saul has come down with amnesia. And his first act as presiding leader is to give back the Ark of the Covenant, ladies and gentlemen, the glory. It says, in order for me to do anything, I've got to bring the glory back that has been gone. And he goes to go get the glory and sets it up on a cart. The children of God are singing and shouting in complete euphoria that the glory is finally coming back. And amidst their praise and amidst their worship, ladies and gentlemen, somehow the cart that is carrying and transporting the Ark of the Covenant stumbles. And a man by the name of Uzzah reaches out his hand to steady the ark so the glory doesn't fall. And in that moment, God kills him. And David is upset in 2 Samuel chapter 6. God, what do you expect me to do? Here is a man trying to preserve the glory, and you kill him. And he says to David, what is my responsibility to say to you? I don't need people trying to put their hands on the glory. Even if it looks unstable, take your hand off of it. There are a lot of people who interfere with worship because they try to control the glory. There are a lot of people who want the glory to go in their direction. So they try to manipulate it, try to, in fact, put their hands on it. So there are a lot of people who lead worship who in essence are dead. So they can tell you how to praise them, but you never see them in worship because they're dead on the inside. And so here David is at a juncture. He's at an impasse. What do I do when one of the people who are trying to work in ministry, one of the people who are trying to advance the vision, somebody who's trying to push the passion forward, and I see them die for the sake of ministry? What am I supposed to do? There is nothing, ladies and gentlemen, that will jar or shake your faith more than seeing somebody who was once active backslide. I want to tell you, it's a dangerous place to become active in ministry because a lot of people, when they are active in ministry, when they get burnt out, they don't take a break, they leave because they then associate ministry with work.